So from yesterday, we have learned how to handle advanced, and we were able to see how to filter the data, sub-filter the data, and do runtime prompts, share the report, and experience all the activities related to advanced report. Okay. Any questions on the advanced report before we jump on to the matrix report?
No, I don't have any right now. I
Okay.
think once something comes up, I will ask you. But for now, I think I'm good.
So now we have seen what all the things that we can do with advanced. Okay. Advanced can do many things, but cannot do few things actually. So those few things can be done by matrix report. Okay. So advanced report, we were able to perform all the things. Okay, we were able to do filters. We were able to do filters on related business object. We were able to configure prompts. We were able to do a lot of the steps actually. Okay, we can add a number of related business objects, do any kind of activities with advanced. Though advanced is one of the majorly used report in all the areas, but it cannot perform some activities, which is nothing but grouping actually. Okay, advanced report cannot group the data. Okay, it can get data in any way that it wanted to have from any business object. It can drill and get the data. Okay, and you can use the data for any kind of integrations or any other things. But advanced report is not having a feature to group the data. So grouping functionality is not available for advanced report. So when you have such kind of requirement that you get, then you get for matrix report. Okay. So what is grouping in the sense? Getting the output based on the grouping field actually. Let's say, for example, if I ask you to get the count of all the employees based on the country. Okay, here the data has to be grouped by country and get you the total count of employee list. If I'm asking you to get the count of all the employees based on gender, based on company, based on cost center, based on supervisor organization, anything can be. So your matrix report can group the data, group all the employees under one category, whatever you specify, and then get that count under that category. So that it is getting after grouping and getting the count. But your advanced report cannot group the data. Your advanced report cannot group the data, and that's the reason why you come into the matrix report. What all advanced report is doing, matrix report cannot do that. What all matrix report is doing, advanced report cannot do that. Okay. That's the major difference that you have. When you have a grouping requirements, you definitely need to come to the matrix report. Okay. If you want to group the data, you need to come to the matrix report. If you come to matrix report, if you are not giving grouping field that you wanted to group the data, a matrix report will not accept. You definitely need to give grouping. If you're not giving, then what is the need to come into the matrix report? You can achieve that in an advanced report only, no? So that's where your matrix will be restricted if you're not giving any grouping field actually. Okay. So matrix report can perform, matrix reports can group the data, and maximum it can group, you can add 8 row groupings. Okay. 8 row groupings. Maximum you can add row groupings, and minimum at least one. Minimum will have at least one row grouping. Okay. You cannot create a matrix report at least one without any grouping. At least you need to have one row grouping. If you're not adding that at least one row grouping, the matrix report will not accept. The matrix report will not accept any creation of a report without any grouping functionality. So at least you need to have one row grouping. Then I have something called column grouping also. Okay. Column grouping, 2 optional column grouping you have. Either you can use them or you won't use them. 2 optional column grouping will be there. You can use these two, or you might not use these two. That is an optional thing actually. Okay, but row grouping is mandatory. At least one row grouping you need to provide. Okay, maximum you can give 8. Minimum you can give 1. Okay. Without this thing, you cannot create. That's a kind of different kind of requirement that you need to consider. Okay. Then the other thing matrix can do is matrix can drill into the data. Okay. Matrix report has an option to drill down into the data. So you need to select some fields related to drilling actually. So you need to select drilling fields. So it has a functionality called drill. Okay. So what it will allow is based on the field that you select under drill, you'll be able to get to the base data. You'll be able to get to the base data. For example, let's say you're creating a report based on the count for employees by country. Okay. Now we have given a drillable fields like job title, or you have given location. Okay. So now you have an option to, when you run a report, from output of the report, you can go to these drillable fields and click on this, and you should be getting all the employees by country. How many employees are there? How many employees have each title? It will be grouped by title, and you'll be getting all the employees. Let's say I'm a senior software engineer. Okay. So I'll be able to get the senior software engineer, and with me, any other senior software engineers are there, all those will be listed, and will be getting a count 3 or 4 or 5 or 10. Okay. And then if you click on the 10, whatever the data that you have added to the report, so there is some other thing called detailed data. Okay. What you generally add the data to the report, right? In advanced report, we added employee ID, employee name, hire date, supervisor organization, job title, kind of things that we have added, right? Similarly, in matrix, we call that as a detailed data. Okay. So as you give the data, actual data that you'll be getting from the report. Okay. So when you are going into the drillable field job title, if there are 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people with the different titles, when you click on the number 6, you'll be getting actual data for all those 6 members. Their employee ID that you have given, their name that you have given, their cost center that you have given, their job title that you have given, everything you'll be getting in detailed data. So drillable fields are nothing but which allows you to drill into the data and get actual data for those drillable fields that you have selected. Okay. The matrix report is the only report that will allow you to drill into the data. And even trended report has this option, but matrix report is one of the report that will allow you to drill into the data from output of the report. Okay. That is a matrix report majorly used for actually. Okay. So you'll be able to configure your matrix report for grouping the data and add the data to return based on the group. Also, you can add drillable fields that will allow you to drill into the data, and the actual data can be added under detail. This is the only extra thing that you will be doing, but rest of all other things like filter, prompts, sharing, all those are same as how you see in advanced. Only the additional things which you cannot do in advanced report are these things that you will be doing in matrix report. The rest of all the things, whatever you do in advanced report, you can do in matrix report also. Any questions anyone have so far?
So did you say anything that you can do in advanced report also can be done in matrix?
Yeah. So like filtering, prompting, sharing the report, all those things you can do in matrix report. Only the thing that you cannot do, what you do in advanced report is, advanced report can be attached to integrations. Matrix report cannot be attached to the integrations. Advanced report can have a number of related business objects. Matrix report, you cannot add a related business object. So major things that you cannot do in matrix report are attaching to the integration and getting the data from a related business object in matrix report, you cannot do.
Okay.
Okay. And rest of all the things like filter, subfilter, prompts, behavior of the prompts, sharing the report, all those things you can do in a matrix
So
report.
you can extract the data based on only one business object, is it?
Yes, based on only one business object in matrix report. Whereas in advanced report, you have an option to add the related data and get the data from the related business object. That option you don't have in matrix report.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So these are the few things that you'll be specifically doing in matrix report. Okay. Nothing much. This is something that you need to know. Let's do what we have discussed in matrix report. Okay. Let's get into the matrix report and see what we can do. Okay. So go to the workday, create custom report. Okay. So the type of the report is matrix. You can see here the moment you select advanced, you'll be seeing this option. Okay. The moment you select matrix, that will go off actually. What is the meaning of that? Why it is coming for advanced? Why it is good not coming for matrix?
Because you cannot attach it to a interface.
Yes. So that option, web service enabled, is something that is related to integration actually. Okay. When you wanted to attach your advanced report to the integration, you will be checking this checkbox and use for integrations. But since, as I said, right, you cannot integrate matrix to the other system, right? That's the reason you will not be seeing that option. Okay. And then coming to the data source, you can take any data source for matrix report. Okay. You can take index, you can take standard, you can take anything. So taking all active and terminated as a kind of source, where you will be getting active and terminated employees from the source. Okay. Okay. So you said, right, row grouping is something that is mandatory. Okay, maximum you can add 8 row groupings. Okay, at least one is the minimum that you need to add. Without adding at least 1 row grouping, you cannot create a matrix report. Okay, so we want to have count of employees by country, right? So adding country here. This one. Like this, you can add maximum 8. Similarly, you have something called column groupings, which is an optional. So we are not adding anything now. Probably once we see the results, we can see. Define the fields to summarize. Since we want to have a count, we'll let count to be as it is. We also have an option to get percentage, calculation, maximum. You have some also you have an option to get. Okay. But we are now concerned about count, having count. And then some for matrix, these two are the additional tabs that you're using. Rest of all things same as per the advanced. Okay. Only the thing that you'll be seeing for matrix report is this one and this one in addition. Okay. So matrix, we define the column grouping and also we have specified the count. Then going to the drill down things actually. So drill down is nothing but which allows you to drill into the data. Okay. So you need to give drillable fields. What fields should allow you to drill into the data? Based on the criteria, you will be set. It is job profile. It can be anything. Okay. Job profile. And then So these two are added as a reliable fields. Then detailed data is nothing but actual data. Name of the employee. You can have same reliable fields and detailed data also. No issue. You can keep same job profile as a detailed data field also. Job profile. Detailed data, as much as details that you give, that will be accurate for you to see. Okay. Okay, I've added some detailed data. Filter, no filter. Prompts, no prompts. Output is something that we need to look into. Because matrix report we are getting, since it will be giving us analytical information, meaning that in a graphical format, we can actually get the data. Okay. So you can get data in a chart, engage in chart and table. Okay. Let's go with chart and table. Okay. And then you have an option to, if you want to get this enabled for any kind of workless dashboards and all, you can use, as we have seen yesterday, right? Similarly, you can use chart, which kind of chart that you want to have. All thing will be pre-populated. You can see whichever you want to have. You also have an option to select from the list. What all the chart types that you have, you can select from the list. Okay. Everything will be pre-populated. Now we've added chart and table. Selected donut as a kind of chart. Click on OK to see how it will be returning the data by grouping functionality. You can see here, since we've selected donut, we're able to see data in a donut format, and you can actually see the count. Okay, if you keep your cursors on slice, you should be getting from years we have this count. Okay, and this we'll talk about India. We have this, and specifically if you go for this, it will talk about it will be getting here. Okay, and if you wanted to have something related to the other country, you should be able to get all these things from slices that you select. Okay, and similarly, since we also selected chart, you got all the details in chart actually. So you can get total 2584 is for US employee count. Okay. So these are the two drillable fields that we have given. Okay. And if you click on view details, you'll go to the actual data that we have given. This is actual data that we have given, and it is getting added. Okay. So if you click on the drillable fields, click on any of the drillable fields, it will give you that particular count of employees with the job profile. Taking this much time. Click on location of job profile. Let's say location I've clicked. So I should be getting all the locations and the count of from all the locations. Okay. So every location, the count of employees from each location. I can go to this count and find out the actual data for all the employees, all these 105 employees. You should be getting all the detailed data that we have selected. This for this 105 employees. Okay. So there are multiple activities that you can play with matrix report, which allows you to drill into the data to get the count, to perform some additional activities that you cannot do in a matrix report. Clear? Any questions anyone have?
Question, Amit.
Yeah.
So I believe you can also create or use calculated fields in metrics, correct? Because
Yes.
as part
Yes.
of the detailed section, I think you can use that.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I can I post it on the dashboard?
Yeah, same. Whatever we have done yesterday, right? You just need to enable it as a worklet and call it in the dashboard. As how we have seen advanced report yesterday, right? Similarly, you just need to enable this matrix report as a worklet, and then where you wanted to have this matrix report to be populated, you need to define that, whether it is home dashboard or anywhere, you'll be configuring that, and that will automate same process what we have done yesterday.
Okay.
We have done for advanced, right? We were able to add it to the worklet and worklet to the dashboard, and dashboard will be populating homepage. Okay. You have option to enable it to worklet. Once you enable it as a worklet, it will populate the same information what we have seen, same configuration what we have done for advanced.
Would you mind showing me one more time the matrix and option that we chose? Just one more time, just to make sure that go to the matrix tab.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Hold on. You did group by field, location, address, country. Then
Yeah.
label country, row total descending. Okay, that's the default came in. You just did with one grouping, right? Country.
Yes. I went
Then
just one grouping. Yeah.
scroll down a little bit, Amit. Little bit scroll down. And is the maximum rows on 250 or what is the max row there? Is it default 250 and then can we extend it to some 10,000? Is that allowed?
I don't think 10,000 you can extend. I don't think you can extend. Let me click on OK to see whether it will accept.
Just curious to know, right? It's for a table. You can also have a table, correct? It matrix also allows you to have a table report, correct? Inside matrix, correct?
Yeah, that's what we did. No, we were able to select table also. Yeah.
So this maximum row 250, is it for table or is it for what that maximum limit set for what?
Viewing the data actually. Okay. So let's say if I run a report, I'm going here. Click on view details.
And you should have changed it to 500 and see whether it gives only 500 here.
So you should be getting this count. If you would have selected 250, you'll be getting 250 here. Okay.
It's for this count, is it?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
For the detailed report count, table
Yes.
report count.
Yes. For the number of rows that you get here. Actually. Okay. Since you have selected 10,000, the maximum is 2584 that you're getting here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can change it, right?
Yeah, we can change it.
Yeah. If you could go back one more time, I want to make sure that I'm understanding the. Yeah, hold on, little bit, go down. Wait a minute. Column grouping. The above is what? Row grouping, is it? Up above? What was that grouping that we did? Country? That's a row grouping. Okay. That's a row grouping.
Yes.
Here we are doing column grouping optional. Okay. First is mandatory, right? Row grouping, at least one is minimum mandatory.
Yes. Yes.
Column grouping optional, but we did two. Did we
We
do anything?
did not make it.
Okay. Can we add one grouping here and see how it looks?
We can do. So that's something we'll be covering. Okay.
Okay.
So that's something we can based on the flow that we will be doing all the options. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, one more minute, Amit, if you don't mind. Go down. I just want to make sure that I have any questions I would ask you.
Mm-hmm.
No, down below, completely down. Define the fields to summarize. You will get to that, right?
Define to summarize what you wanted to do. Okay. You want to have count, you want to have a percentage, you want to have average, you want to have sum, all those things you'll be defining.
Okay, that is not on the donut chart, but on the table, correct? Is it for donut chart?
Both.
That content.
You're getting count in both, right? You're getting both in chart as well as in table, no? Whatever count that you have selected, you'll be getting that both in chart as well as table. So both in chart and table, you'll be getting the count. Okay. Let's say I wanted to do a column group by gender. Okay.
Okay.
If I'm adding by gender, okay. For every country, I wanted to know
Put
the count
percentage.
by gender.
Yeah.
What is
Gender
that?
and I'm saying below put percentage, right? Let's see what it shows. Down below. Make it instead of count, say percent if you have percentage. I thought it's only for the donut chart. Table always give you the numbers in table format. I could be wrong.
No, you'll be selecting the count. Table will not be getting that. That's the reason why if table is getting it, the count, why you get, you can do that in advanced report only, no?
Okay.
The advanced report is nothing but a table, right? So since the count you're not getting in advanced report, you're getting into the matrix report. Okay. You can see here percentage getting added actually. Percentage by default it will get added. Okay. So for count, how much percentage it is. Okay.
So it gives you the count plus percentage, correct?
Yes.
Count plus percentage.
Yeah.
If you add the percentage, if you don't add the percentage, it just gives you the count.
No, even if you just go with count also, it will give percentage. Okay. Just go with count also, it will give you the percentage because those are the default parameters actually. You should
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is that percentage showing then? You change it to percentage, right? Where is that? How is that different from count?
So you're getting this thing, right? This is coming from for both count and percentage, you'll be getting both the attributes. Okay.
That's the default, right?
Yeah, that's the default actually. Okay. And if you go into the specification for this one,
Yeah, it's also coming in the table format. Okay. That's the same.
So we did run this after adding column grouping. If column grouping is there, I think
I
that
think
would.
so. Yeah, I think you selected percentage.
Let me see if I added column grouping or not. I think I've added gender as a column grouping.
Mhm.
See gender coming up. 1 minute. Let me go back. Gender is there, no? Why it's not showing up?
Yeah, change it to percentage, Amit. Here. Change it to percentage. Let's see what happens. Percentage or any other than count. What else we have? Just want to curious to know what is the difference.
So you see the count has got changed actually. Okay. Count has got first populating in a percentage. Enter into this. So for table, there is no change actually. Only in chart, you should be seeing something different actually. Okay. For table, I don't see any change that you're seeing.
So I
Okay.
don't see difference. Chart also, I don't see any difference. It's the same number showing.
You're
No
seeing.
change. Yeah, no change. So looks like that's just maybe not functioning that kind of feature.
No, you should be
No
getting
difference.
something on the percentage, right?
No difference. It was there before.
So I don't think something is working correctly. Okay. So
Yeah, it's just
I'm adding a gender. Gender is not coming as a column. So
yeah.
something is not working correctly.
These reports, right? I've seen other product also. They just say this is additional feature, but most of the time that doesn't give exact expected
No,
results.
this should work actually. Gender should be because we want to do a kind of column grouping, right? This should work.
Yeah.
Okay. So it should work. That has to work. I think something is not functioning correctly. Could be tenant issue, not a product issue. See, it is again changing back to count. Okay, once we give a percentage, they are standing on that percentage. It's again going back to count. But my only
Hmm.
point is why this gender is not coming. Okay, it has to come. Okay,
Change different field. Let's see. Change it to something else, Amit, and see whether that comes.
I think whether it was a delivered field or other field, we would have selected the calculated field, the delivered one.
Yeah.
And I think we would have selected this one, I believe. Let me see what is this. This is a calculated field. Okay, I think we would have selected the first one, selecting the delivered gender field. Now let's see, because it has to generate data in a X and Y axis format.
Yeah, it's male female coming now.
You can see
Male,
here.
female. Yeah, that is coming.
Yeah. So now it has got into X and Y axis format. Okay. So even in this also, if you click here, you should be getting. Okay, only in table it is showing. It has to show in this also. Okay, let me get it run quickly. So in table, we're seeing when column grouping as read by each gender from United States. We have male, we have female, we have multiple categories with is a total count actually. Okay. So there is something a kind of analytical information. But if you want to have something to be populated in a row itself, you need to have that added in a row grouping where you should be seeing that all these legends that you're seeing, right? This will be populated with gender actually. Let's do that and see how it will work. Currently, we are seeing only chart is getting updated with the gender, right? Let's see if you want to have, so not chart, table. Okay, table is getting updated. Right now, let's see how chart will be getting this information.
Table will give you the complete count, 2584's count.
Yes, yeah. In this
Yeah, that's
284, it will give you how many
correct. That's the number.
gender, it will give you that information.
I think matrix gives you the number. Table gives you the details.
If I add it to row grouping, the same gender value, it is not behaving rightly. Okay. It has to give row grouping, it has to give me gender. I think it is not taking correctly. Something with the performance issue is there. See, after adding gender again, it is not showing up. It is not getting added. This is a little performance issue, I believe, with the tenant.
So otherwise, this works, is it?
It
This
works. It works. It works. I did the multiple times. Let me go ahead and add. Let me go ahead and add to the row grouping. Somehow, it could be a tenant issue. Okay. Not getting added actually. I don't know what is the reason with the tenant. Whatever we added, the moment we click on OK, it is getting removed actually. Let me do one thing. Let me log out the matrix count of employees by country, right? Let me close the tenant and again get it again open freshly. This count. This should be the one that we are working. Why duplicate? We did not add anything, no? Why it is duplicating?
You may want to take the appropriate field. That could be the reason. It may not be able to do the matrix based on the field chosen. Just
No,
thinking.
I did multiple times. Okay.
Oh, you in this field, is it? Okay.
I've used this field multiple times. I think it is showing in column grouping. Weird behavior. Okay, let's see. Okay, now it got added. I think it should written correctly now with gender in chart. You can see now in chart also you can see the legends are categorized based on the gender. Okay, you can see all the countries populating by gender actually. Okay, you should be able to get.
Next, donut. Donut 1 second. But in donut, you don't see much difference, huh? It's the same.
No, you have gender got added. No, so we'll see. You got gender field added here. You can see gender got added. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Show me the table down below. It's just gender added to the column, is it?
Yeah, it's added as a column, not as a. It's added as a row. Okay, since we added gender for row grouping, right? We removed as a column grouping. It has gone as column grouping. It has added as a row. Okay.
Okay, I
Similarly,
have a question.
country. Yeah.
Question. How
Okay.
is this representable then, this report? Because I see United States, then India, then United States again with the different values. I thought it would help me
There's
grouping
a data
country.
issue. Okay, that's not a your functionality product issue. That's a data issue. Since we have this is a tenant with the junk data, we have gender as blank actually. Okay,
No,
generally in
that's fine.
real
That's fine. No, I understand. I totally understand. Let it be blank. I'm fine. Let it be blank. I would expect to see United States, then on the second column, blank, male, female. Then India should come, right? It can't be India in the middle. Make sense?
that's
That's
the
the
thing.
grouping to me, correct? So, United States, I would want to see blank, then male, then if you have female in United States, then female,
No, no, it
then
is
India.
no, it is
No?
actually taking all the blanks first. Okay, it is taking all the blanks first, and it is giving you US India as a blank. Then it is taking US male, India male. It is taking like this. For every country that it is giving, right? It is actually giving blank count first. Okay, it is giving blank count first, and it is going for actual gender details. Okay, if you're seeing
Okay.
if you're seeing for Canada, you can see UK getting a blank. Then you're getting you're getting all the blanks first, and then it is going for gender information. Okay, there is something behind this thing that will happen. We don't have control to actually see which has to populate.
No. Let's go to United States. Just want to make sure that I'm understanding the report. Just go to United States. After blank, scroll down a little bit. Okay, male, female. Okay, yeah, that's what I was expecting to see. Okay,
So for
okay.
every country, it is actually getting blank first, and it is getting the
Oh,
other.
no. It's again, look at the problem there, correct? United States male is coming again.
Well, there's a different gender. So you got blank first. Okay. You got blank first, and you got India blank first, and then it is getting you male. Then it is getting you female. Then
Oh,
you
okay. You scroll down. Okay, got it. Mhm. Okay.
so you can actually do this by sorting also. You can actually make something meaningful actually. Okay. You can sort this and get this in a descending or ascending order that you can make.
Yeah, I would like to take a look at this. What did we do down? Okay, gender you added. Go down a little bit, sir, Amit.
I've not added anything. I just added gender.
Correct, correct. Column grouping we remove.
Yeah.
Below we did not add anything, is it? It's count. It goes back and changes through the count.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Summary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Can we go to the next tab and see what did we add?
You did
Drill
not
down.
just drillable fields we added, job profile.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second, Amit. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
sort dimensions alphabetically, specific fields. Okay. These are all the fields. Got it.
Yeah.
This is the field for the table, correct? Okay. Got it. Detailed data.
These are the fields for the table actually. So you'll be getting the actual data. Okay. These are drillable fields which allows you to drill into the data. These drillable fields that you have given, right? So this will allow
Okay.
you
Hold
to
on.
drill into the data.
Hold on. Job profile, location, company, cost center, gender. Okay. 5 fields, correct? Okay. Here we have 8 fields.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both
Scroll
can be
down.
same or cannot be same. Can be different also.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could scroll down a little bit. Okay. Little bit more.
Yeah.
Sort. There is nothing sorted, right? Okay.
Yeah. Here you can
Now,
sort.
would you mind showing me the donut, Amit?
Running after running.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see where I can see these 5 fields. Okay, let's see. Drillable.
You'll be seeing
Job
it
profile,
span actually.
location, company, cost center. Job profile, location, company, cost center.
So if you go to the chart, so you can see these are all the 5 fields that they can see, available fields.
Okay, can you click on cost center and see? Let's show the difference.
You'll be getting all the list of the cost center and employees who filled in the cost center.
Okay, will it not change the donut when you click on it?
No, no. So this is completely in the table actually. So you don't have this. If you go to chart, right, donut will not change actually. Okay. So whatever the kind of drillable width that you have given, that will be specific to a table only. Okay. You'll
Only for
not see,
table.
yeah, you'll
Hmm.
not see that in a chart actually.
So do I have an option to change the donut? You have a drop down or something on the matrix donut where it changes the number according to the value that I select.
So you'll be getting, even if you go, you'll be getting like this. Yeah, you should be getting like this.
Okay, it
Yeah,
opens a new window. Correct. Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
doable, but new window.
yeah, yeah.
It's a new window. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought because that should be the standard behavior. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So for each of the thing, you can actually get donut, recategorized based on the selection that you made.
And charts can be I can use donut, I can use pie, anything, right?
You
Table.
have you have a column cluster, you have bars, you have graphs, many things that it's completely based on the need that you have. Clustered column,
Hmm.
graphs, you have gauge, you have.
What is that on the right hand side, Amit? In the same in the yeah, that one. Query HANA. Okay, I can select that also. Query HANA. Okay, that's I can choose it. Correct.
Yeah, you can choose anything that you want to have from this.
I can choose. I can change it after building one. Like, can I change it for this one from? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. I can change it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can download. When I download, will the
Not yet
chart
chart.
get
Chart will
chart
not.
will downloaded?
Chart will not be downloadable. Okay, you get only table will
Table.
be downloaded.
Okay, okay. PDF. When I click on PDF, will the chart getting downloaded to PDF or the just a table?
I did not try PDF, but let's say, but I've tried Excel sheets, but there was no chart getting downloaded in the spreadsheets. And the same behavior, I think, even with PDFs also, but let's try. So you can see just the table with the count actually. Okay.
Mm, okay.
Look for PDF. I think the same will be populating. Okay.
Okay.
Same as spreadsheet.
The table. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
So that way you can actually manage matrix report. Basically, this is for analytical information. Okay, you can attach to the dashboard, and someone from the leadership team wanted to get some kind of understanding just with charts to get the headcount. Okay, or HRs where they wanted to submit headcount for every weekly if they wanted to send any kind of headcounts. This would be a kind of option where they can choose.
I can also have the prompts, correct?
Yeah, prompts also you can have.
No.
Okay. Based on the analytical requirement request, you should be able to have matrix report created.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, does Workday provide any standard metric reports or no standard reports
There are some standard reports. There are
or metrics? Okay.
some delivered standard reports also would be there. Okay. Where you can actually utilize them, or you can actually create your own matrix report. Okay.
Okay. So how do we know, I mean, whether this report is a metric or the advanced? I know when I open it, I would know, but looking at the name, is there any way I can distinguish between matrix and advanced?
We've selected a type matrix. No?
Hmm. Okay. So not at the extension, report extension or anything, I cannot find anything, right? That's
No.
not
When
okay.
you start creating a report, we'll select the type as matrix. Okay. That would be your matrix report.
Okay. So I have to open inside and find out whether it is matrix or advanced. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from the report type, you'll be able to understand. And also in the output also, you'll be able to understand which type of report it is.
Okay.
Because matrix report is doing group, right? It is not like advanced. Okay. When you run an advanced report, run an advanced report, it is not doing any kind of grouping actually. Okay. But when it is matrix report, you should be able to get some kind of grouping results that you can see. So that would be in the matrix report based on the analytical kind of requirements. You should be able to create that. Okay. So you can replicate the same for multiple other scenarios also by gender, by company. If you want to get employees by company, okay, you should be able to do. You can get percentage, you can get kind of sum, you can get some kind of aggregated values based on the field that you select. Okay. And you can also add calculated fields to this. But you cannot add a related business object. That is the only limitation that it has. You cannot add a related business object. If you wanted to get the related business object, you need to convert that to calculated fields and get that added to the report. Okay.
You know what? I think you can configure that on the when you run this, right? On the
Mm.
right hand side, if you click on that little thing,
What?
I think here it gives that option to configure.
Which one?
Run the report. I'll show you that.
What configure you're saying?
Run the matrix report.
You're saying a related business object.
Oh, no. On the right hand side, you can change the icon, right? Matt donuts to line or bubble charts.
Chart you can change. I'm saying about related business object, calculated fields. Okay. So when you wanted to get the data from the related business object, you cannot get that directly. You need to create a calculated fields and get the data is what I'm saying. Okay. Chart you can change. Okay. Chart you can change in runtime also.
Yeah. Now I was saying you have a other option also in the chart. If you can click on that, right? There is a configure option. I think it lets you change. Okay, click on that. Yeah, here you can change. I think that's the
So you have what
benefit
are
of
the things
this.
that you have? Okay. So what are
You
the
can change here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But this what I was saying is you cannot get the related data is what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
So
No, I get
related
it.
data
Get your point. I get your point. I completely agree. But I'm saying if you click on this, I think number automatically changes here in the same screen.
changes. Yeah, number will be changing automatically. Yeah, based on the selection that you make. If you
Okay.
unselect one, if you select the legend values, if you select this one, count will obviously get changed. Okay. So automatically the count will get changed. Your donut will get refreshed actually. Okay. So
Okay.
based on which you can actually get. Okay. You can sort by, you can do country by gender. Okay. So based on the legend that you have selected, right? You should be able to, if you would have added multiple row grouping, you should filter with legends actually. Okay. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. It's a kind of a more analytical perspective, I can say. Okay. You can visualize the data with what you have configured in multiple formats.
It's like some of the turnover reports, red count report that Workday provides out of the box. Maybe they're
Mhm.
using one of these type of reports, correct?
Yes, all
Very
the turnover
interesting.
reports, statistics, and all can be with matrix and trended reports.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, so tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll get into the trended report, which is similar to matrix report, but we have a different data source that will be getting a trended data. And then we'll explore other report areas as well. Okay, before we get into the calculus, tomorrow we'll get into the trended report. Okay.
Okay. Sure.